We begin the day here in Europe knowing more today than we did yesterday about the new Omicron coronavirus variant, and this is when a matter of days matters. Today, the Netherlands confirmed that 2 people there tested positive for the Omicron variant more than a week ago. Now, the world first learned of the new variant just 5 days ago, and it shows just how little we really know right now about Omicron. Well, today, German Chancellor Angela Merkel and the man who will replace her later this week, Olaf Scholz, met with Germany's 16 federal leaders to discuss how the country should move forward in dealing with the pandemic. No decisions were announced. We don't expect those to come until Thursday, and that's despite the spiraling number of new cases and the new variant that has been detected here. Well, for more now, I'm joined by Paula Piechotta. She's a member of the German Bundestag for the Greens, and she is also a physician. It's good to have you on the program. I want to start and ask for your reaction to this report that is coming out tonight that Olaf Scholz, set to become the new chancellor, reportedly saying that he would back mandatory vaccinations for everyone in Germany as early as February.
I think we have to acknowledge that public support for general vaccine mandates is surging, and also many of my colleagues are now understanding that we won't prevent a 5th or 6th wave of COVID infections if we don't have vaccination rates above 90%. And it's quite unlikely that we are going to have vaccination rates above 90% without vaccine mandates. And that's why the discussion about vaccine mandates is very likely to be held in Parliament quite soon.
And is that going to be the new government stance? You're not going to support new lockdowns, but you are going to support requiring everyone to be vaccinated.
I think it very strongly depends on what you call a lockdown and what not. We are discussing very strict contact restrictions, especially for people who are not vaccinated. But yes, it's true. We are going to see if there is a majority in Parliament for general vaccine mandates, and I think the decision about that is going to be made in the next weeks.
You know, we have seen protests in Austria, for example, on news of the mandate there. Do you expect to see that type of public outcry if the new chancellor says, yes, we are in favor of requiring everyone to get their shots?
First of all, we do already have anti-COVID measure protests all over Germany, especially in the state where I'm from, in Saxony. And to all those people who say that vaccine mandates would lead to further disruption of society, I say the current measures, the need for prolonged anti-COVID measures because not enough people are vaccinated, those are causing more disruption in society than any vaccine mandate ever could.
And is there a plan if the mandates are put into force, if people resist and just say, no, I will not be vaccinated, and civil disobedience, if you will? Is there a plan on how to enforce the mandate?
I mean, this wouldn't be the first vaccine mandate in history. We've had vaccine mandates before, and in fact, we currently do have measles vaccine mandates, for example, for healthcare workers. So it usually works with monetary fines, and of course, people are not going to be directed to vaccination places, but it's very likely that there are going to be fines. However, this is going to be part of the discussion that is going to be held in Parliament.
And, you know, there are already fines for people who, for example, don't get their children vaccinated against polio. But you still have people who resist. Do you think that fines in the pandemic would be any different or would be any more effective to get people to change their minds?
I do think, I mean, we currently do have fines for parents who don't get their children vaccinated against measles. And we do see that many parents in the end do opt for vaccination because it's just too big a hassle to stay with your decision to not vaccinate. I think for many people, this is going to be a very strong, very clear reason to opt for vaccination. But of course, we are going to talk about how big those fines are going to be, if they have to be paid yearly, if there's other measures that can be taken for people who don't want to vaccinate. But I think this discussion needs to be held in the next weeks. I think that we do have, as a society, we do have to accept the fact that after multiple virus variants, we now have a virus that requires vaccination rates so high that they can't be achieved in Germany without mandates.
Ms. Piechotta, I mean, a lot of people hearing you will agree with you, but the voters in your constituency there in Saxony, a lot of them don't agree with what you're saying. Are you concerned that if a mandate is enforced, that could trigger voters to go to the polls in the next election and to voice their dissent, and it could cost you your seat in Parliament? Are you worried about that?
I think that's, if at all, a secondary concern. I'm much more concerned about people who are vaccinated, who got vaccinated, hearing that this would mean that they would get freedoms back, that the situation would become better if they are vaccinated. And now, especially those people who are the majority, even in Saxony, way more than 50% are vaccinated here. I'm way more concerned that those people could lose trust in government and politics as well. And I think when it comes to decisions like vaccine mandates, we have to carefully balance all those arguments in favor and against vaccination mandates. And especially if I look at the Saxonian society, I do think that vaccine mandates are required.
Paula Piechotta, a member of the German Parliament with the Greens, we appreciate your time and your insights tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.